I am here today to show you some of my pictures, which I am not very proud of having shot. The pictures that many times make me ashamed and I shouldn't have shot them. Many years ago, I went to the USA in Grand Canyons, or Grand Canyons in the USA. I was absolutely excited for shooting those pictures, that beautiful scenery. I drove hundreds of miles to reach the Grand Canyons. I drove on the right side of the road, which we know as the wrong side of the road. It was a very cold evening when I reached the Grand Canyons. I absolutely wanted to have this sunset picture on the canyons. The sun decided to move rather fast towards the west that day. So the race began. Drive as fast as you can, find a parking spot amongst the hundreds of cars which are already there. Get your camera out, get the tripod out, run and find a spot. When I found the spot, I still had some photographical light remaining. With very cold and numb hands, I set up my camera, dialed the settings in, put some filters on, and took this beautiful picture. I don't like this picture. Why I do not like this picture? It's just a Google search away. When you image search in Google this, you find everyone in the world has taken just this picture. Then I went to Masai Mara in Kenya and shot a lion, same problem. Everyone has shot this lion or another lion, but looks pretty much the same. The next picture, I am absolutely ashamed of having shot. Yeah, please. A squirrel. Who shoots a squirrel? I did. Now, why I don't like these pictures? As artists, it is our job to create new art. Artists do not copy, they create new art. It is our responsibility to further the world's artistic cause and to add to the repertoire of aesthetic sense, not to copy. If you Google, let's say, Salvatore Mundi, you will not see imitations there. You will see only images of Salvatore Mundi. Or if you did The Night Walk by Rembrandt, nobody has attempted them again because artists create new art, they do not copy. Making the same images again and again and again and again only wastes the world's time, it does not enrich the world. Copying dumbs our brains. Copying in photographic terms is pretty easy. You want to shoot something? Go ahead, do a Pinterest, Google, or Instagram search. It will come in deluges of inspiration. Just go out and shoot an image. Put it on social media, you'll have likes and comments and love and whatnot. This is nirvana. You're getting something for nothing. You have not done anything to get this image, you just copied it. But you're getting so much of supposed love. Your mind revels in it and soon it stops to imagine. When imagination ends, your mind becomes bored. Bored photographers make very boring images bore the world. And nobody likes a bore. Believe me, your followers, your family, your friend, they are bored. They still have to like the images that you shoot, although they have seen the same images again and again and again. The median engagement on Instagram is 0.67%. What it means for you and me is if we had 10,000 followers, less than 67 would bother with your image, and a lot of them will be actually your family and friends who are obliged to press the heart button. They are bored of seeing the same images again and again and again. But more than heaping boredom and everything else on your followers and family and friends, copying is just too bad for the environment. Your incessant click, 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 click is exacting a very huge cost on the environment. Digital photographs, are they expensive or are they cheap? They cost nothing. You don't need any film, you don't need to process it, you do not need paper, you do not need boxes, unrealized, nothing. You can just click, 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 click. Unfortunately, digital photographs are not as cheap as they sound. When you click a photograph, it takes some space on your device, which is some silicon space. As you click more, the space gets filled up and up and up, and soon you need more memory, a newer camera, a newer phone. More Earth's resources go in making all of that. Not only that, your image, which everyone else has made already, does not occupy space on the device. It is very soon goes on to the cloud. The process of taking it to the cloud itself takes a lot of resources. You need mountains of coaxial cables and cellular towers and servers and switches and whatnot just to take that image that everyone else has shot to the cloud. Now, cloud is a very misleading term. The cloud, our cloud does not look like this. Our cloud looks like this. It is made of a lot of material, aluminum, silicon, steel, coaxial cables, etc., etc., etc. All of that takes resources. And to keep your image safe on this cloud, it eats gigawatts of energy, of electricity every minute. Very soon this electricity will deplete the server, and within 2 to 3 years, the whole of the server infrastructure ends up here in electronic garbage, which adds to the garbage, to the carbon footprint, and more material is needed to replace it. Cloud is very, very material, and cloud is a carbonivore. Cloud is also a very thirsty carbonivore. All this electricity that goes 24/7 to the cloud because the image that everybody else has taken, you have taken too, needs to be saved there. Multiple copies of it, this generates electricity, heat. And to keep these images cool, millions of tons, gallons of water, fresh water, is pumped into these server farms, like in agriculture farms, just to keep them cool. This fresh water would have been very useful and needed for other things in life, other things like survival itself, let's say. A study by the Institute of Engineering and Technology in the UK has found that an average happy snapper in the UK takes 900 snaps per year. I'm sure the number is higher for India. This 900 snaps a year by a happy snapper in the UK translates to 10.6 kilogram of carbon dioxide for every adult in the UK, which translates into 112,500 return flights from England to Australia. The cloud servers today are more polluting than the airline industry, and the images that we take contribute, however little, but they contribute to the pollution. So should we dump our cameras and save the planet? Now, I'm not arguing that at all. All I ask is, when you get this urge to shoot, pause, think, and ask yourself this question: have I seen this image already? If the answer is yes, consider not shooting this image. Then what do? You have this urge to be satisfied. Can you think of another composition on the same scene? On the right is a very short scene of a castle. On the left is another composition of it which is not usually seen. Can you find an element in the scene that changes the whole interpretation of the photograph? So instead of shooting a line because you see it, is there anything else in the picture which will make Make a slightly different picture. Can you change your viewpoint? Wait for a picture to happen. Will that make a better picture? You can train your brain. In the next few minutes, I'll give you some practical advices that I've learned from some of the masters of photography around the world that I've had a good fortune of shooting with. 1. Reject the first composition that comes to your mind. Do not shoot the composition, slow down, think, maybe you'll think of a better composition. If nothing else, your brain will be forced to think of another composition. 2. Take a walk to shoot only one image and say that I'll shoot only one subject. Let's say I'll shoot only, and choose a difficult subject. Don't say I'll shoot dogs or cows. Say I'll shoot only pentagons or I'll shoot only color purple. This will again force your brain to think, to observe more, and to ignore the mundane. Do this challenge for a month that I go out every day to shoot only one subject and only one image a day. Soon you will train your brain to ignore the mundane and see a different picture. Break some rules. I don't know how many of you are from photography, but if your brain thinks naturally in terms of rules of thirds, mine does. Try to break that rule. Try to put your subject on one side of the edge. You might get a different picture. If sharp images attract you, if you like text sharp images, try a blur. Maybe you create a different image that the world has not seen yet. When your brain has been trained a bit or a lot to see a different picture, ask yourself another question. Will this image convey to the viewer the same feeling which I am feeling right now? So supposing you are feeling wind in your hair when you're shooting, will your audience also get the same feeling of wind in their hair? I hope by now I have convinced you to stop click, 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 click and slow down and think before you do the shot. If not, let me tell you this from my experience of having shot some of the most beautiful places and most beautiful faces in the world. The more I shoot, the less I see. So shoot less, see more of the world, feel more of the world. The world will thank you for it. Thank you.